everyone, Darkside Phil here, coming back from a little bit of a break. Welcome to the weekend preview for February 18th, 2013. I realize that a lot of people say that these go too far, they're too long-winded, so I'm going to attempt to get through everything as quickly as humanly possible without going off on crazy tangents, okay? We're going to review what we did this past week very quickly, then we're going to jump into this new week, which is going to be very exciting with multiple new releases. I'm going to explain what's going on with the popular DLC that's coming out this week, the status of Retro Replay, which I haven't been doing for several weeks. A lot of information in this video, so definitely stay tuned, okay? So, first of all, if you're watching this video, I want to thank you, because I've noticed over the past several months that ever since I took all my vlog-style videos off of the original, the DSP Gaming channel, and I moved them to this new Vlogs Only channel, that they have been waning in views. Actually, I take that back, because some of them actually are now starting to have a slow increase in views, which I'm pleased of. But the weekend preview has been one video that, for whatever reason, people are just, it's getting maybe 7,000 views a week, and then over the course of the week, it'll maybe get a couple more. But it's nothing like it used to. I mean, there used to be 20 to 50,000 people who would watch the weekend preview. People would be in the know, and it was great. And then all of a sudden, people just stopped watching it in 2012, I think, because there was too much gameplay going on DSP Gaming, and they were missing it. So I moved it here, and now it's even less. But I just want to thank you if you are one of the people who's in the know, and if you watch the weekend preview regularly, can you spread the word about what we're talking about in this video, so that I don't get really silly things like, for example, this past weekend getting messages on Twitter, are you doing Elimination Chamber simulation matches? Well, I've been saying for 2 weeks in the weekend preview that we weren't doing that because, you know, this was a week where Panda Lee was visiting me. So if people would just watch, they would know. They wouldn't have to be posting questions to Twitter and Facebook and comments on unrelated videos that I don't answer. I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay, so this past week, I'm going to be quite honest with everyone, was a bit of a dud. A very disappointing outing with the release that came out this past week, Aliens Colonial Marines. I did a single-player playthrough of the campaign of the game, which was very short. It clocked in at under 6 hours. What a lackluster campaign it was. The graphics were okay on PC. I heard they were abysmal on the consoles, but the gameplay was just so repetitive and boring. Fighting human enemies in a game titled Aliens Colonial Marines, but like more than half of the enemies are regular humans. It was just a cheap cash-in. Gearbox did not do a good job with this title. There's all kinds of now controversy and rumors that Gearbox outsourced the title, that Gearbox actually had funds that they appropriated from Sega to develop it, and they misappropriated them to the development of Borderlands 1 and 2. Pretty crazy, but the game is horrible, the single-player campaign. I'm actually just now, after I finished the filming this week in preview, about to jump on the multiplayer and try it for maybe an hour or two and see how that is. From what people have been saying, the multiplayer is kind of decent. That's the actual part of the game that Gearbox worked on. They outsourced the campaign, which is why there was a demo from 2011 that actually ran and looked much better than the actual retail game when it was released. So it was a big flop, and I know a lot of people just were not interested in the game. I completely understand that. That was the one major playthrough I did this past week, and then I also did a run-through of the I almost said Skyrim. The Skyrim Dragonborn DLC, which had already been out on Xbox 360 for 2 freaking months, but I did have a chance to play it, and I enjoyed it, but in my opinion, way too short. Now, I want to elaborate on something here. I've seen people commenting and saying, Phil seems to have rushed through the DLC, there was all this content that he didn't do. Well, I have 2 things to say to explain myself. Number 1, I didn't know there was more content because the game didn't tell you. Like, sure, I found all the random areas on the map, but I didn't know which ones was an extra dungeon with side content and which ones weren't. The DLC does a very, very poor job of explaining to you what kind of content is in the DLC. You actually have to go out by yourself and wander around for hours, going from location to location to find a lot of the side content. For what I'm to understand, there's a hidden secret boss fight, there's 1 or 2 other like dungeon quests where you fight dragon priests, and there's an optional armor that you can get if you go to certain areas. But again, I didn't know because the DLC, if you remember when I played the original Skyrim, I had the strategy guide, and so when I said, oh, what's the fun content or side content, I looked through the strategy guide, oh, I can do it, and I went and did it. The DLC did a very poor job of explaining itself. That's number 1. But number 2, I really just didn't have a lot of time to play the DLC this week. I'll be honest with everyone. I put out 2 reviews this week. One for Dead Space 3 and one for Sly Cooper 4 Thieves in Time, both of which are live here on the King of Hate vlogs if you haven't seen them yet. And they were very time consuming. Each one took me hours and hours to create and encode because they have the video footage added to them for this year. It's the major change I made to my video reviews. So doing that took up a lot of my time that I was going to play Skyrim. And then in addition, the first day when I went to play the Dragonborn DLC, Steam had a glitch and didn't download the DLC properly, and so it wouldn't load. It took me like hours to figure out that there was a glitch, and that's why I couldn't get the DLC to activate. So I actually lost like 2 hours of gameplay, additional gameplay that I could have played the DLC for. So it is what it is. I did do the main storyline. I did do a couple side quests in the DLC. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet. But outside of that, it was a quiet week simply because Pandalee was here to visit, and we didn't particularly have any game or anything we wanted to play together this time around. We did do a new DSP Tries It for Sherry's Berries, which is a chocolate-dipped strawberry service that you use for holidays or like for your girlfriend's birthday, and we actually got them for Valentine's Day. And you may be interested in the review, especially if you're thinking about getting them. Check out the DSP Tries It because you're going to learn a couple things, on some disappointing things about Sherry's Berries. In fact, we found several people, or several hundred people were complaining about them come Valentine's Day. So definitely check that out if you haven't. And I did do a new schedule update, because if you remember the original schedule update of what games I'm going to be playing in 2013 that I did way back in January, we had a screwed up calendar. The stupid ass Staples sold us an academic calendar that only had half the year on it. So we went back this time, we bought the right calendar, we've got a new gaming schedule video up, and it fully explains for the very first time not only exactly what games I'll be playing, I've actually stuck in there some of the retro replay times that I'll be doing the retro replay series. I actually scheduled in Leanna's next few trips to visit here. So you can know, if you watch that video, you will know, oh, okay, she's visiting then, I know not to expect new content then, and yada, yada, yada. So definitely check out the video. Very important video and very informative if you're interested in knowing what I'm doing this year regarding gameplay, regarding time off with Leanna, regarding trips, because we actually got a Screw Tag Gaming Convention coming up. All that stuff's revealed in the video. And the one quick thing that I'm going to address here, once again, just a bunch of overwhelming negativity and assholes that just they feel the need to express their whiny opinions when no one cares. And I know that that's, YouTube comments, that's typically what you see in them, but for people to complain on the video that they don't like my girlfriend, it's a waste of your fucking time at this point. Like, oh, I have a right to my opinion, it's constructive criticism. No, it's not. It's saying, I don't like your girlfriend, she's whiny, or I don't like the way she talks, I don't like the way her voice sounds. What does that do for anyone? My girlfriend's here visiting, so either you get no gaming schedule video, so you have no fucking clue what I'm doing for the rest of the year, or you can get one where she says a couple words in it. It's one or the other. It's that simple. In the very opening of the video, I say, DSP and Pandalee here. If you don't like Pandalee, close the video. No one cares about your opinion about how you don't like women or you don't like my girlfriend in particular. It's completely a waste of time. You made yourself look like complete fools if you left those kind of comments. It's not constructive criticism. It's actually trolling at this point, and it's bullshit. So, some people said, oh, Phil was policing his videos again. He promised he wouldn't do that. First of all, wrong. Never ever said that. I said I would not actively police videos in the comments, but if I am by chance reading the comments of a video for information, and I notice that half the comments are a bunch of idiots putting out worthless stuff like, I don't like Pandalee, you're going to get fucking destroyed, basically. And that's what I did. I replied to some people. I just flat out deleted 40, 50 wasteful comments. People were looking on the video to see what suggestions of games for me to play this year. That was the purpose of the video. Like, I wanted feedback. If I can't use the video and you get proper feedback because a bunch of idiots are on there fucking spamming it with comments, I will take care of it. And actually, I was getting private messages over the course of yesterday saying, Phil, please block this person. Phil, please block this person. They're being nasty on your video, and we want you to clean it up. Like, people were PMing me, telling me now to go back and police the video, even though people all of a sudden last year didn't want me to do it. So it just goes to show you can't have it both ways. It's either one or the other. This was just a chance where I was actually actively reading the comments of the video for feedback, and I cleaned up a little bit of a mess. It's not going to happen on every video, that's for sure. I don't have time. It's not a worthwhile usage of my time to be going and policing the comments actively. I already explained this earlier this year, but every once in a while it might happen on an important video that I'm trying to get feedback off of, but for the most part, you're not going to see it. So that's pretty much it for this past week. This coming week, I'm very excited 2 major releases, a DLC, then we're going to explain to you how I'm going to handle that DLC. So a lot going on, okay? The 2 major releases coming out tomorrow are Metal Gear Rising Revengeance and Crysis 3. Now, admittedly, I am more excited for Metal Gear Rising Revengeance than Crysis 3. Admittedly, even though I did play Crysis 2 and I actually liked it a lot. What I'm going to do, the way I'm going to tackle this is tomorrow I'm going to go to the store, pick up the games, and we're going to have an unboxing video. I do have to say something regarding unboxing videos at this point, because unfortunately, you know, it's a new year, things have changed, my vlogs have moved over to this new channel, and a lot of viewership has waned or diminished. And one of the video series where this has diminished a lot is Release Day Unboxing. Typically, like, let's say 2 years ago, when I was doing Release Day Unboxing, these things would get like 50,000 views, okay? And so it would warrant me, wow, if I'm going to get 50,000 views, that's going to pay for me to go buy the collector's edition of the game and get the cool extra stuff and you know, get the crazy extra, you know, the Dead Space 3 I bought the Dev Team edition, and I had all these cool extras to show you guys in the unboxing video. When the unboxing videos are barely pulling in 10,000 views, and it's not paying for itself for me to pay for the collector's edition content. Now, up to this point in the year, I've actually reserved quite a lot of collector's editions, and I've reserved probably through halfway of 2013. But now when I do reserve new games, I'm going to have to start looking a lot more seriously and say, is it really something that I want a lot? Is it worth it for me to spend the extra money? Because I know that the Release Day Unboxing videos aren't getting a lot of views, and therefore it's not paying for itself anymore. Case in point, I actually have right now reserved this crazy-ass collector's edition of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It's a katana blade of Raiden's katana, as a Tesla coil lamp, okay? It's a big-ass lamp, supposedly, that's going to have Tesla electricity shooting through it. Really cool, really neat for an unboxing, but it costs like 150 bucks. And the video is not going to get enough views to pay for 150 bucks. It's not like the old days. So, unfortunately, come later this year, Release Day Unboxing may be scaled back to the point where I'm just opening the regular editions of games. I'm sorry, but it's just an inevitability. When the popularity isn't there anymore and it's not enough to pay for the product that I'm unboxing or even be a tiny contributor, it's not worth it. So we're going to have to see. There may be a change with unboxing in the near future. But outside of that, there will be a massive unboxing of both of these games tomorrow, Crysis 3 and Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, including this Tesla coil lamp and all this crazy shit, okay? Then I'm going to be playing both games, and what I'm going to do, like I've done on weeks where there's 2 games coming out that people want to see, I'm going to split my time between them. I'm going to play probably 10 to 12 parts of Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, and then maybe 10 to 12 parts of Crysis 3. And we're going to continue that way throughout the course of the week until I beat one of them. I have no idea how long either of these games are. And then I know that Crysis 3 actually has some multiplayer, so at one point I'll probably try the multiplayer for Crysis 3 as well. So that's the rough agenda for gameplay this week. That's what you're going to see Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. These 2 games panning out over on DSP Gaming, okay? Saturday, John Rambo, from all reports, I haven't actually spoken to him yet about it, but from all reports he's supposed to return on Saturday for some kind of co-op gameplay, and also for the return of Smart Guys, which has not aired for several weeks because we just haven't had a chance to get together for 1 week, and then Vanda Lee was visiting this week previous. So the return of Smart Guys will be recapping the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. We'll be talking about everything that's going on leading up now into WrestleMania. Speaking of which, we will be attending WrestleMania. We've got a big weekend planned for that weekend. We're going to be attending a Ring of Honor taping, the Hall of Fame we're going to be at for WWE. We're going to be at Fan Access. So all this stuff going on. For information on that, watch that schedule video that I just made yesterday. I explained the whole weekend fully, okay? So the return of Smart Guys. We don't know what we're going to be doing for co-op gameplay yet. The last time we didn't know what we were doing, we ended up playing Super Mario Bros. 3, and people absolutely loved it. What I can tell you is this: whatever we play, I will not be putting out over 20 videos like I did for Super Mario Bros. 3. I think that was a mistake. I uploaded too many videos, and a lot of people complained and unsubscribed, saying I uploaded too many videos in a day. I may split it over several weeks. We're going to see what happens. But the bottom line is there will be some kind of co-op on Saturday. I don't know if it might be Elimination Chamber simulation matches a week late. It could be something else. I don't know what it's going to be. We're going to think about it, and we're going to definitely do something on Saturday. And then Sunday, Monday, we'll return back to Metal Gear Rising Revengeance and or Crysis 3, okay, until we beat the games. And what this is all leading into is You might be saying, but Phil, there's a DLC this week, a major one. It's the Assassin's Creed 3, what is it? I can't remember the name of it. Something of King Washington. It's the one where George Washington becomes King of America, basically. And it's episode 1. It's going to be an episodic DLC coming out over 3 months. And so people want to see it. And they say, Phil, when are you going to play that? Some people are even saying this would be cool because Phil really never played Assassin's Creed 3 by himself. It'll be cool to see him play it by himself. So, that's coming, but I'm not going to do that until I've either completed Crysis 3 or Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. Whichever one I beat first, the DLC will then replace it daily, okay? And then, once I beat the other game, we're going to start the very next Retro Replay. Now, as you know, there is a poll currently on my website that this is your last chance to vote. This week is it. Because once I finish the 2 games from this week, I'm starting the next Retro Replay. Right now, and I actually don't know because I haven't checked, but now's a good time while I'm making the video, I'm going to jump on my website, and I'm going to see what the vote totals are. I believe that Metal Gear Solid 4 is still in the winning position, but you still have time to vote, and this is what I'm trying to emphasize. A lot of people, I think, are taking things the wrong way. And they're saying to me, "Oh, I guess Phil maybe doesn't want to play Metal Gear Solid 4 because he mentions in all his videos that the poll's still open. Why would he do that if he knew Metal Gear Solid 4 was winning and he wanted to play it?" Well, that's not the case actually. Here's the deal. Metal Gear Solid 4 right now has about 700 votes. Resident Evil Director's Cut has about 500 votes, and there's a couple other games that have just about 400 votes. Let's face it, how many thousand people are watching this video right now? So a lot of people didn't vote. If you don't want to see me play Metal Gear Solid 4, this week is your last chance to go to the poll, which I'm going to link in the description of this video, and vote for a different game. If you can move this poll. I'm telling you, if there's hundreds of people out there who are like, fuck, I really don't want to see Phil play Metal Gear Solid 4. I'd really like to see him play Resident Evil. I'd really like to see him play one of these other games that he has in the poll. This is your chance to go vote and change that. But right now, Metal Gear Solid 4 is in the running, is in the lead. So if everything stays the way it is over the course of this week, by the end of this week, I'll be closing off that poll, okay? Whoever wins the poll will be my next Retro Replay, and then I'll be opening up a new poll, and the new poll is going to have different options. I actually have acquired a couple other games, okay, that people were like, they're like fan requests and stuff to put into the polls that I didn't have in the original poll that I'm now going to add. One of them, for example, is Uncharted, the very first Uncharted, which I never played on YouTube. So that's a good option. I actually have that game now. I'm going to add that one. So we're going to mix things up a little bit, okay? So, last chance, vote for what you want to see on the next Retro Replay. More than likely it's going to be Metal Gear Solid 4, but it could be something else. So, 2 major games coming out tomorrow, playing them over the course of the week. Once I beat them, I will be moving on to the Assassin's Creed 3 Washington, the King Washington DLC, and then when I beat the other one, I'll be moving on to Retro Replay of Metal Gear Solid 4. Keep in mind, there will be co-op gameplay with John Rambo on Saturday, and the return of Smart Guys. For vlogs this week, obviously you have a release day unboxing tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can squeeze a couple in. Obviously I'm going to be busy with the new games, and I'm going to want to be playing the hell out of the new games because I know I'm probably going to enjoy them. And I'm really excited, by the way, this week. These are, I have to say, Metal Gear definitely is a game I've been looking forward to for a long time, and Crysis 2 was a solid FPS, so I am really looking forward to playing Crysis 3. But I'm going to see if I can maybe sneak in a couple of vlogs. There's a couple things for DSP Tries It that I've had in mind. And yes, one of them is fast food. I know everyone's dying for me to eat fast food in DSP Tries It. Well, there's one thing of fast food that's been intriguing me for months, and I want to see what it's like. And I can't believe that it even exists. I can't believe it could be any good, and I want to do it for DSP Tries It. I may be doing it sometime this week, okay? Outside of DSP Tries It, not this week, but I believe next week I've scheduled in the next Ask the King. Let me take a quick look. Yeah, it's next week is the next Ask the King. So that's coming next week, but this week, outside of maybe a DSP Tries It here or there, and unless there's a channel, I mean, there might be some gaming news that I want to talk about. If you remember, 2 weeks ago I talked about the whole Ubisoft Rayman Legends delay debacle, and You know, by the way, that poll's doing pretty well. It's got, I think, over 11,000 signatures now, and actually the creators of Rayman have come out and said, please release Rayman on time at the end of the month when it was supposed to on Wii U. We don't care if you fire us. We're out here in public protest that we worked our asses off, and basically you're delaying the game 7 months just to make it cross-platform. It's unacceptable. It's great that they did that, by the way, because that shows they have a lot of balls, but it doesn't look like Ubisoft gives a shit. They're just going to delay it to make more fucking money, so fuck that. I hate to say it, but the game's going to tank because everyone's going to be playing GTA 5. And I feel really bad for that development team because they're a great team. Rayman Origins was great. Here they are busting their asses to make a great game. The game probably is great and no one's going to play it. It's a shame. Okay, so anyway, I'll have to see what I can do. What I can maybe squeeze in for a vlogs this week. I'm not sure. Obviously Smart Guys on Saturday, but outside of those I'm not too sure. One thing I do want to talk about, I have determined that I can do a gaming news show, and I'm probably going to be filming it, of all places, right here on my couch, because for weeks I've been looking around my condo for a better filming area, couldn't find one. I was looking, could I do a green screen and all that? It's not going to happen. So more than likely what I'm going to do is like what I do with my Hateful Truths now. I'm going to move this guy over, sit here, and then here you'll probably have like graphics of what I'm talking about in a gaming news show. The thing is, I need to have time to do it, and obviously when I'm playing the new games, I'm not going to have time those days, so I guess it really depends on how quickly do I get through the new games this week. And I'm talking me play-wise, not my uploads. Remember, my uploads, I'm only going to be doing maybe 10 to 12 videos of each game a day, two games a day. But outside of that, I'm going to probably be playing them a hell of a lot more, you know, here, and probably play for several hours tomorrow and other days to get through them and see how long they are. It actually has been very helpful with the reduction in the amount of videos that I'm uploading to play through a game and know how long it is and then say, okay, I've got 40 videos left, okay, I can upload these 10 a day for the next 4 days, and it really gives me a nice schedule and perspective as opposed to previously I had no clue how many I was uploading a day, how long a game was, and it was very chaotic. You didn't know what to expect. It's definitely helping me in that regard. So that's it for this week. A fun-filled week, 2 new games, plus a new DLC starting later on in the week, plus the next Retro Replay is going to be established finally, so please vote. Definitely everyone, tune in this week, check out the new stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see everyone tomorrow for Release Day Unboxing and then for new gameplay over on DSP Gaming. Thanks for watching the Weekend Preview. Peace out.